Welcome back to episode 25 here at Tech Headlines Today, the podcast that brings you the top tech headlines. If you want more information on a topic we cover, check out our show notes that are linked in the description. Subscribe and follow if you're new here, and let's get into it. TikTok increases video upload limit to 10 minutes. TikTok is shedding its short-form skin and rolling out the ability to upload videos as long as 10 minutes. The popular app, which launched in 2016 with a 15-second limit, has slowly increased its threshold, first to 60 seconds, then 3 minutes, and now it's starting to encroach on YouTube's territory with a new 10-minute limit. We're always thinking about new ways to bring value to our community and enrich the TikTok experience, a TikTok spokesperson said in a statement. Last year we introduced longer videos, giving our community more time to create and be entertained on TikTok. Today we're excited to start rolling out the ability to upload videos that are up to 10 minutes, which we hope would unleash even more creative possibilities for our creators around the world. While TikTok's minute-long videos easily capture the attention of Gen Z users, the app could benefit from a dedicated place for longer-form content. Nist seeks cybersecurity framework feedback. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, or Nist, is seeking feedback on how it can enhance its framework for improving critical infrastructure cybersecurity. Nist released the framework in 2014 to provide guidance to organizations in the public and private sectors on implementing cybersecurity standards and best practices. The framework was developed to help those organizations to improve their cybersecurity posture so they could identify and respond to cyber attacks faster and defend themselves better against cyber threats. In a request for information published on February 22nd, Nist said the National Institute of Standards and Technology is seeking information to assist in evaluating and improving its cybersecurity resources, including the framework for improving critical infrastructure cybersecurity, and a variety of existing and potential standards, guidelines, and other information, including those relating to improving cybersecurity in supply chains. The framework consists of standards, methodologies, procedures, and processes that align policy, business, and technological approaches to reduce cybersecurity risks. It is used by private and public sector organizations in and outside the United States and translated into multiple languages. Cloud and IoT usher in new era for healthcare. CIO Larry Jones has seen his share of change over more than 30 years working in healthcare IT, but the group's CIO of Johnson & Johnson Medical Devices Companies, JJMDC, believes recent IT advances are fueling digital transformations that will open whole new horizons for healthcare. We believe we're taking some early steps to be more than just a device company, Jones says. We want to be a technology company. To make good on that, JJMDC is collaborating with Microsoft to build a state-of-the-art digital surgical platform on Azure that aims to revolutionize medical procedures and enable connectivity of IoT devices, dashboards, and instruments used during procedures. The growing number of IoT devices in use during medical procedures has inspired a needed redesign of JJMC's existing platform. The JJMC Digital Surgical Platform will use AI and machine learning to create personalized surgical and treatment plans. It will be aimed at surgeons, nurses, physical therapists, and care managers. Given that it is still early days for the multi-year project, industry observers are taking a wait-and-see approach to the JJMDC's digital platform, but they applaud the efforts. For more details, check out the article in the show links. Link is in description. Google and Facebook face penalties in Russia as deadline passes to open local offices. Alphabet's Google and Facebook owner Meta Platforms are among internet companies facing possible punitive measures in Russia after failing to open local offices and take other measures required by communications law. Since July 2021, Russian legislation, signed by President Vladimir Putin, has obliged foreign social media companies with more than 500,000 daily users to open local offices or be subject to restrictions as severe as outright bans. The new rules also require companies to register with Russian communications regulator Roskomnadzor and have a system for fielding user complaints. In November, Roskomnadzor listed 13 companies it wanted to set up officially on Russian soil. Last month, it said it would start imposing restrictions by the end of February. This smart mosquito repellent system might save your summer. If mosquitoes are the bane of your existence in the warm months, you might want to try fighting smarter, not harder. At least that's the idea behind the Thermacell Live, a smart mosquito repellent system that can be controlled by phone or voice offering protection for outdoor areas up to 1,575 square feet. The Live system comes as a smart hub and up to 5 repellers that you stick in the ground throughout your yard. The heat-activated repellent lasts for about 40 hours, preventing mosquitoes in a 20-foot zone. The Smart Hub connects to your Wi-Fi network so you can control the system from your phone or voice assistant, and you can share the control with others. Thermacell says that the DIY installation process takes between 30 and 90 minutes and does not require any special tools. Qualcomm unveils new chip with next-gen Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support. Chipmaker Qualcomm has unveiled its next generation of smartphone chips at Mobile World Congress that will power many of this year's flagship smartphones. The new chips will include Qualcomm's Fast Connect 7800 platform, which will allow them to support the upcoming Wi-Fi 7 standard, which isn't even expected to be formalized until 2024 at the earliest. The new chips will be the world's first with Wi-Fi 7 compatibility, which will enable new performance benchmarks with peaks up to 5.8 gigabits per second and sub-2 millisecond latency, making it perfect for online gamers and firms leveraging Industry 4.0. Qualcomm's new Bluetooth chips will enable power savings for smartphones using the wireless standard as well as doubling the range. It will also enable higher bandwidth music streams up to lossless CD quality audio. Qualcomm Technologies is said to be defining the future of wireless connectivity. In a response to Qualcomm's announcement at MWC, MediaTek announced its own mid-range chips. These chips will compete with Qualcomm's top-of-the-line Snapdragon 888 chips from 2021. How much damage could a Russian cyber attack do in the US? US intelligence analysts have determined that Moscow would consider a cyber attack against the US as the Ukraine crisis grows. As a scholar of Russian cyber operations, I know the Kremlin has the capacity to damage the critical US infrastructure systems, the article author states. Federal officials have been bracing for this. In January of this year, the U.S. Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency issued an alert that outlined the Russian cyber attack threat with technical details of sophisticated Russian-led hacking from recent years. That included a complicated digital break-in that targeted the U.S. energy industry and gained access to the control rooms of U.S. electric utilities. According to Homeland Security officials, hackers could have thrown switches and knocked out the power to the public, but did not. In mid-February of 2022, federal cybersecurity experts met with executives from big U.S. banks to discuss defenses against Russian hacking attempts. U.S. officials have also highlighted that Russian cyber warriors can gain access and remain undetected for long periods in key systems in the U.S. It's impossible to be certain that there aren't more Russian government hackers in critical companies and systems in the U.S., and wherever they are, they may have the ability to cause substantial damage. Airbnb offers free short-term housing to Ukrainian refugees. Airbnb is offering free short-term housing for up to 100,000 refugees fleeing Ukraine. The company on Monday began contacting European leaders, starting in nearby nations of Romania, Poland, Hungary, and Germany, offering support for asylum seekers within their borders. Lodgings are funded by Airbnb, Airbnb.org's Refugee Fund, and generous hosts. The firm also plans to work with governments to best support the specific needs in each country, including providing longer-term stays. Disney Plus gains the Marvel series from Netflix and new parental controls. Starting March 16th, Disney Plus will add live-action Marvel shows like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders, The Punisher, and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to its content lineup. Originally, it wasn't clear where Marvel's live-action shows would go when Netflix's rights expired, but Disney Plus is now home to the shows. Also on March 16th, all U.S. Disney Plus subscribers will be asked to update their parental controls, giving them the ability to set a PIN to lock profiles and to disable a kid-proof exit question for kids' profiles. Disney Plus subscribers will have the option to set their profiles to TVMA or TV14 and will have to confirm their changes with their account password. The parental control changes will allow Disney to roll out more Marvel content aimed at adult fans on Disney Plus later this year. Rocket Lab to build, launch, and land reusable rockets in Virginia. Rocket Lab USA announced it will build a rocket factory on Wallops Island in Virginia. Rocket Lab will manufacture the entire launch vehicle at its factory adjacent to the launch site. The factory will employ up to 250 people and span 250,000 square feet. Rocket Lab will launch Neutron rockets at Wallops in 2024. Northrop Grumman has used this site to launch cargo rockets to the ISS since 2013. Will Apple sanction Russia? With Russia's attacks on Ukraine intensifying, will Apple join the list of companies exiting the Russian Federation? Doing so reflects the company's commitment to environmental, social, and corporate responsibility. Apple has a thriving business in Russia and has been pleased with its results in the last few years. It probably makes more money selling Apple One subscriptions internationally. Apple opened offices in Russia to comply with the government mandate and keep some user data on servers there. But it isn't the top smartphone brand in Russia. That's Samsung. iPhones account for about 15% of smartphones sold in Russia and take roughly 45% of smartphone sales revenue. Apple exiting the Russian market could affect 20% of Russians who use Apple Pay. Apple's business shouldn't be deeply impacted if it chooses to withdraw from Russia. On a global basis, it is already feeling the decline in consumer confidence. And that wraps up another episode of THT. Thanks again for joining us. Share this episode on social media if you got something out of it, and we'll see you tomorrow.